doing a chatty get ready with me. I almost forgot to chat, to be honest. I was about to just film my makeup and I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be talking. I'm not really going anywhere special today because your girl has been doing the absolute most lately. The most. Which is nothing wrong with that because it's summertime. And I just thought of something funny. But it's summertime and you know, that's what you do in the summer. At least that's what I do in the summer. I like to have fun and go out and enjoy the weather, because in the winter time I am not going anywhere. Like you could catch me in the spring, except for like for my birthday, because my birthday is in December. So I usually do something for my birthday, and like, you know, maybe a few times I'll pop out in the winter, but for the most part, you could catch me in the spring. You could catch me. I've been doing a lot. I have some really exciting stuff coming soon, like in life, exciting stuff for like vlogs and stuff that I think you guys are really gonna enjoy. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So we're just gonna take it a day at a time, a week at a time, and just enjoy the summer. So I hope you guys have been having a good summer so far. I definitely have. But in this video, I want to chat with you guys about a question that someone asked me on Instagram. Can't remember the person's name, I'm sorry, but she asked me, do I think that it is best when you're single to wait for God to show you who your partner or your man is, or if she should be dating to kind of like find that person? And I thought that was an interesting question, and I figured, you know, maybe some of you guys might be interested in that answer too. So I figured let's do a little chat about it. Let's chat, let's discuss, and let's get into it. I think that it is best to not necessarily wait on a man, because why would you do that? But I do think that it's important that if you are kind of in a season where you want to date and you want to find like a partner, you want to find a husband or whatever, I am not personally like a huge fan of, I don't know, that's just never been me. I won't say I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's just never been my thing, to be like, oh, I'm ready for my husband, I'm ready for this and that. Like, that has just never been me, never been my thing. But there's plenty of women who are like that, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I just want to set the scene so you know where I stand as a person, because my advice is going to come from where I stand as a person. Okay? So from my perspective, I personally do not feel like you should be waiting on a man to just like magically appear. You shouldn't be waiting on a man in general, in my opinion. Like, I just don't think that that's necessary, to just be waiting around for a man to show up or to come into your life. What I do think is important though, is if you're ready for that season of life, is putting yourself out there. But if you're a Christian, of course, speaking to my Christians, because I'm a Christian and that's the perspective I'm going to speak from. Put yourself out there in a way that it's a squirrel in my backyard with like a pancake. What is that? Is that a pancake in his mouth? I don't know. Glorifying to God. Because there's a lot of ways you can put yourself out there now. Let's be clear, there is a lot of ways. Okay? There's plenty of ways to put yourself out there. But I think it's important, intermission, gotta go with my beauty blender, that if you are looking for a man that has similar values, if you're looking for a man that is of God, if you're looking for a man that, I think the best way to summarize it is has similar values. If you're looking for that, you should probably put yourself out in a way where that type of guy, that type of person would be attracted to that. So for example, if you're interested in finding a man that has similar values, it might be a good idea to put yourself in situations where that type of man would hang out. Now, I don't want to generalize and stereotype and say like, oh, a man of God will probably be at church or at some type of Christian event, or a man that is not of God or a man that does not have similar values will probably be at the club, because I don't think that's 100% true. I think that, you know, there are some obvious truths to those statements, but I don't think that's 100% true, like clean cut. Like, there's been plenty of times where people, like, I'm sure you guys probably know someone that goes to church every Sunday, they're active in church, they're part of every committee, but they're trifling though. Like, I'm pretty sure you know someone like that. And then you may also know like the person that is spiritual and the person that does have a connection with God and the person that is a Christian, but occasionally maybe he does go to the club, occasionally maybe he does drink, occasionally maybe he does smoke. I'm not saying that those things are right or wrong. I'm just saying that we can't just use those as buckets to put people in, to be like, oh, this person, because they do this or because they're there, that mean that they can't be this type of person. So I would just say be open to figuring out the person that I'm trying to attract or that I'm trying to meet. Where would they be? You know, now maybe, you know, maybe you don't want to find your man in a strip club because his values probably won't match up with your values, right? But that's not to say that, like, if you're at like a day party or something, that you meet someone and he can't be on a similar path as you just because you're both at a day party. Like, I hope you guys get what I'm saying. I feel like I'm not explaining it well, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. My go-to look, the look I do every time I go out. Maybe I'll try something new since I'm only going to the mall. Like, this would be the day to kind of like test, right? But I already started with the same look that I always do, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I would just say put yourself out in a way, put yourself out there. But if you're trying to attract a certain type of person with a certain type of values, put yourself out there in that manner. If you are on a journey of like celibacy, or you are you know, just on a path where you're trying to honor God with your body, with your time, with what you're doing, like, you know, it might not be best to put yourself out there in the way that, you know, some women do, as far as like thirst traps and like half naked pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. And like, to each his own, you know, like everybody can do their own thing. I'm not trying to judge anyone and say that that's wrong, because that could just be them, that could just be their truth, that could just be the phase that they're in life. Like, I'm not gonna judge you, sis, live your life. But what I will say is that if you're trying, know that in doing things like that, you attract a certain type of person into your life. And not to say you can't still attract that same type of person into your life if you're being wholesome and modest and all of that, but it sends out a completely different signal if you're like taking a picture showing off your body, like sitting on a bathroom sink, versus like you're taking a picture and maybe you're dressed more modestly. Like, certain people just aren't going to approach you with the craziness because they see what you're about from your outer appearance. I'll give you guys an example. So I was at this, I don't want to say where I was because you never know who's watching, but I was at this, let's just call it a party. And someone that I knew at this party, sorry, my camera is, someone that I knew at this party came over to me. Come on, camera, as soon as I get to it. Okay, so someone that I knew at this party comes over to me and he's like, oh, you know, you're so beautiful, you know, you're so beautiful, but, you know, I was a little intimidated to talk to you. And I was like, that's interesting. Like, why were you intimidated? And he was like, well, I mean, just like look at you, like, you know, like you're sitting here, you know, you're sitting here, you just come across like kind of reserved. Even like the way you're dressed is just like a little different from everybody else. Like, I think you look amazing, but it's just like different. And I had on this really nice dress. It was like, maybe if I could find a picture. I don't think I took a picture that day. I think I did it, I will link the video so you guys can see the outfit that I had on. But I had on a really, really nice dress. And it was very tasteful, but it was also like sexy and classy and all of that. And he was like, he was just talking about how I was intimidating. And I was like, that's interesting. You know, I hear like people have said that to me before, that I'm intimidating, that I look intimidating. And I was like, and even when he said like look, like you're like over here and everybody's like over there dancing, I was like, well, like my feet hurt, like I'm kind of tired, but like, you know, just like 10 minutes ago I was up like dancing, like having a ball, but I just sat down, like literally just sat down because my feet were hurting. And he was like, oh, okay. Like he was like, yeah, I don't know. He was like, I just didn't want to say anything because you just seem like a little intimidating, and I've always felt that way about you. And I was just like, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time I don't really rock with what you're saying, because I feel like the type of person that I'm usually interested in is like, I want you to feel confident enough to look past that, to look past like, oh, she doesn't look like everyone else and she looks intimidating, and like speak up. Like I don't know, that just made me feel like, ooh, this is kind of cool. Y'all see that? So sidebar, a little trick that I do is I wet my eyeshadow brush before I apply it, because it makes the, when I'm doing like iridescent, because it makes the color pop like so much. Like, let me show you. See? Like, don't be intimidated. Like, be confident enough in yourself that you don't care if I look intimidating. But then at the same time, I'm like, okay, I kind of get it, because, and I don't know, this could be just a universal dark-skinned girl thing, but I feel like I hear this a lot about dark-skinned girls, is that we look intimidating. Like, we have to, not even just in a dating setting, just in general, like almost like we have to try harder to look welcoming and pleasant and friendly. Like, we have to just be naturally like, because we want everyone to feel comfortable and not intimidated by our resting face, which comes across as resting bitch face. But my thing is like, is anyone else being told that they look intimidating? And granted, I don't really know, right? Because my experience is not as anyone else. Like, I'm a dark-skinned woman. That's what my experience is as. So I will never know what it's like for a lighter-skinned woman or a white person or a Spanish woman. Like, I will never know if they're getting those same comments. But I have a strong feeling they don't. And that's literally something that I've been getting told my entire life is, oh, you seem so mean, you seem so quiet, you seem so shy, what's wrong? And I'm like, dude, I'm over here in my head having a ball. Like, I'm just happy, I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat. I'm like, getting it all in, like all up in here. I'm Gucci, we Gucci. And sometimes I might actually be like annoyed or hot or whatever, but most of the time I'm good, but my face doesn't translate as that, and people feel the need to tell me things like I look intimidating. So let me know in the comment section if you get that often. Like, if you get like, oh, you seem intimidating, or oh, are you okay, you seem like something's wrong. Like, is that something that you get often? Whatever you are, dark skin, light skin, white, Spanish, Asian, don't matter. I just want to know. And yeah, so back to the whole dating thing. Do you date or do you wait? I basically, to answer that question, I think that you live your life. I personally think that's what you should be doing in a season of singleness, and you feel like you're ready. I think that you should just be living your life. You shouldn't be concerned about, where's my king, where's my Boaz, where's my Instagram babe, where's my YouTube babe. Like, sis. I think if you feel like you're ready and you feel like you've done the work on yourself to like be ready to dedicate to a relationship, and you're ready to build with someone, because relationships are work, okay? Relationships are freaking work. They're not all cute and taking photos and going on vacations. Like, that's the cute side of it. That's the Instagram side of it. But there's a dark side to relationships. And not to sound like, oh, relationships are so bad, but like, they're work. They're actually work. So if you feel like you're ready for that, I would just say, if you feel like you're ready for like your partner, you're ready to do the work, you're ready to, you know, really dedicate your time, your energy, your space to someone else, then, you know, start putting yourself out there. But I would just say put yourself out there in a way that is gonna attract someone that has similar values, whatever those values might be for you, sis, whatever those values are. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this look, speed this up, and I'll pop back in once I'm done and we can wrap up this video. I need to blend that a little bit too, because that's not looking no. All right. It's a little frostier than I had anticipated, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not mad at it. Like this is a look. It's a look. It's a look. Usually when I put my Fenty gloss on, I only put it in the center of my lips because it gives me the same look, like very like frosty metallic-y. But I'm not mad at it. A moment? I think so. I think this is a vibe. I think it's a moment. It's very bronzy. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to all of this. So I'm like trying to get used to it. I'm always used to my same lip. It's so boring, but it's so, I don't know. I'm just a creature of habit. When something looks good or something tastes good or something smells good, I just stick with it. Like I just, you know, I might try something new for a little while, but I always make my way right back to the thing that I know is going to work. As you can see. I know, I'm basic. I do the same look every time. I'm sorry. I tried, y'all. Look, these my eyes. I tried to spice it up a little bit. I really did, but here we are, still looking the same way that I always look. But yeah, that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, this little get ready with me. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section if you think that when you're ready for your man to come into your life, should you be dating, should you be waiting? I do think that you should. If you meet someone and you like the person, I definitely think that you should pray on it. I think that you should, you know, be intentional about the type of person that you're letting into your life and letting into your space for sure. But I think it's a combination of living your life, girl, and making sure that you're whole and together and you feel solid in your foundation and your relationship with God before you start doing anything, before you start reaching out, before you start putting yourself out there, before you start doing anything. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you made it to the end, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see more content like this, click the little bell, hunty, get them notifications, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.